Let's go to the Minister for Superannuation and Financial Services, Jane Hume. Once again, she joins us. Interesting talking to Ed there. Tell me about superannuation and the number of Russian assets. Can you put a dollar figure on what is current?
No one can put a dollar figure on exactly how much money is in superannuation, held in Russian assets in superannuation right now. The funds tell us that it's a very small amount, but of course, when you're dealing with a $3.5 trillion superannuation sector, even a very small amount can add up. About 0.5% is the equivalent of about $17.5 billion. So the Australian government and Josh Frydenberg and I have said to superannuation funds that it's our expectation that they would be reviewing their investments right now, those investments in Russian assets, and consider divesting from Russia in line with government sanctions and, of course, with the international community's sanctions as well.
Do you expect this to have a material effect, or is this about sending an ethical message, if you like?
We think it is definitely about sending a message that superannuation funds in Australia represent the values of their members. And we think that members in particular will expect that their superannuation funds are investing within that ESG risk management framework, environment, social and governance framework, and that identifying those assets that are potentially impaired in Russia is very important, and divesting themselves of that in line with members' values and also in line with government sanctions.
Look, sanctions do seem to be working. As you look around the world, we've seen super yachts seized. We've seen Roman Abramovich having to sell off his Chelsea football club. It's worth about 4 billion Australian dollars, a couple of billion pounds. But do you accept that by imposing these sanctions, divesting Russian assets from super, that it is going to hurt ordinary, everyday Russian people who don't want this war anyway?
Well, the target of Australian sanctions, and certainly the targets of those sanctions imposed by other liberal democracies around the world, have been aimed at the oligarchs and those that are aiding and abetting the Ukrainian invasion. Now, that said, when we see the private sector also step up, as we have seen, Apple, Google, Nike, a number of shipping companies have stepped up and said that they're not going to use container ships to Russia anymore, which cripples their imports and exports. Yes, that will have a significant effect on the Russian middle classes. And perhaps it's the Russian middle classes that will be able to pressure their president into behaving like a good international citizen again.